Sunday morning Facebook live streaming, and I want to talk today about the topic spiritual tools, pandemic style. This is a title about knowing that when we have stress, anxiety, grief, or despair, to up your spiritual practices. And that we can always access a higher knowing that it is not always easy, but they are simple practices that we can experience. So welcome to Facebook Live. My name is Dr. Frankie Timmers. I am the Spiritual Director at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown, and I am so honored to be here today. We have a website, www.cslmorristown.org. If you love to give and share your generosity, there is a give button and you can just pop that on there. So I'd love to interact with you. I'd love to see your name. I'd love to see your little bubbles. Let us know where you're from and who you are, and allow yourself to be open to some inspiration today. If you want to tag someone or share this live video, please do so. And we are always open to feedback. So the topic, spiritual tools, pandemic style. There is this amazing 9th century Zen master. His name is Toku-san. And he said this based on instructions that he was giving. However deep your knowledge of the scriptures, it is no more than a strand of hair in the vastness of space. However important appears your worldly experience, it is but a drop of water in a deep ravine. So today I want to bring us all back to beginner's mind. I truly believe with all my heart, mind, body, and soul that when we have a strong spiritual foundation, anything and everything is possible. We can get through anything. And I don't know about you, but many people shared a similar experience I had this week where I felt like I hit a wall being in quarantine 4 or 5 weeks. And I immediately went back to the very simple, basic spiritual practices. And it shifted my experience almost instantly. So, when life gets hard, when life is tough, what we do as people on a spiritual path is go back to our practices. And we put them on steroids. We go back to our basic practices. And many of you know what these practices are. You already know them. Yay! And you're practicing them. Some of you maybe not. Maybe you're new to this and this is the first time you hear of this, or maybe some of you just forget to go to your spiritual practices when you're stressed out. So I want to kind of take us back to some of the basic practices that are available to us. It's like a review. Before you do any practice, you just honor yourself. You honor your experience. You honor your life. You honor your way of being. And you notice what you're noticing. You notice what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you believe. You have awareness. That's your preparation. And then you go into what we call the 5 spiritual practices in the science of mind. They are affirmations, spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, meditation, visualization, and visioning. And I'm going to go into each one of them in a basic, simple way. So affirmations. Affirmations are just simple affirmative statements about the highest idea, truth, that the highest truth that's available to you, the highest way of being, your highest way of knowing, opening to that, speaking that, and affirming that. So, the next one, spiritual mind treatment, our word for affirmative prayer. If you want to know more about that, I'm going to tell you about a class, and there's many ways to figure out how to do it when you just go online, go to the CSL website, go to the Center for Spiritual Living Morristown website. But it's an affirmative prayer where you connect with spirit, you declare your experience of it, you speak the truth, an affirmation, you accept gratitude, and you turn it over to the universe, which is ever giving, ever knowing, ever serving. Meditation. I know meditation is difficult for some of you right now. The moment you sit still, you get antsy and distracted and you feel like you have ants all over your body. But meditation is one of the most important spiritual practices we can do right now, which is to simply be still, to simply breathe, to simply be present in your heart, and to listen to that voice of your higher self, that voice of higher truth, that voice of God. Visualization. Some of you are more visual than auditory, so you just see the highest possibility as already real. You imagine it. And then there's visioning. And in visioning, that's a process that we do where we ask our higher self, our spirit, our universal presence within for guidance. And then we listen for the answers. And then we act on those answers. We don't just leave it there. So each of you, all of us, get to practice and practice more than ever. Just like when I'm cooking, I have some tools and maybe even a recipe. It requires me to use my tools, to use the recipe in order to have my food on the table the way I like it. If you are somebody who likes to tinker with cars, you know that you need some tools to change your oil or fix your tires. Then you use those tools. If you're an artist, then you need your stuff, your paints, your pencils, your pens. Or if you're a knitter, you need yarn and maybe a pattern and needles. You use your tools to demonstrate and manifest something that is your greater desire. It's the same when it comes to spiritual life, spiritual living, and spiritual practices. We use the tools that we already know and we practice them. Your spiritual foundation is everything. I know for me, my spiritual foundation is everything. It's everything. And so I need to strengthen that foundation when life gets a little bit tough. I need to strengthen that foundation by using the tools that are available to me. And they are such simple tools. Are they easy to practice? Maybe not, but practice makes perfect, and that's not perfect versus imperfect. That just means mastery, self-mastery. And so what we have to remember is that when we do these practices, we don't just do them for ourselves. When I'm doing my spiritual practices, I'm doing them for everyone on this planet. I'm doing them for all of you. When I'm doing a spiritual mind treatment, I include you. I include the entire world, the entire planet. So maybe it's hard to do the practices for you, but do them for someone else. Do them for someone you know needs them. Do them for somebody that you think is struggling. And just hold them in your heart in a general way. Or reach out to a spiritual practitioner. We have licensed practitioners in our own community. Every other community has them just about. You can go to the csl.org website, and there you can ask for a prayer request. There's so many opportunities to get support when you are forgetting or when you are not able to practice the way you would like to. And so there's actually a bonus practice. I shared practices, but there is a bonus practice. There is a sixth practice. You ready for the sixth practice? It's study, spiritual study. I pulled a book off my shelf that I hadn't read in a while, and I picked it back up, and I'm reading it again, and it's such a treasure. I'm not sharing which one it is because I want you to pick a book off your shelf and to go back to deeper study. Sometimes when we read it for the second time, it has a whole new message. Sometimes when we read it in a different time in the world, it has such different meaning. So one way that you can study is by signing up for a class that our beloved Gail Belluardo will be teaching online. It's her first time. She's a wonderful teacher. And it's called Self-Mastery, the Emergence of the True Self. It starts a week from Monday on the 27th. It's on Zoom. It's limited to a certain amount of people, so hurry up. And it's from 6:30 to 9 p.m. So this is an incredible opportunity right now that we live in. It's an opportunity to really practice what we teach, to really practice things that we already believe in our heart of hearts, and to then stand solidly grounded on our own spiritual foundation and to be that in the world, to share that with the world. I believe that those of us who are on this science of mind path have a step ahead, and we can truly be the presence of healing on this planet. And it begins with ourselves. It begins within. So I love the expression post-traumatic growth. What if we think of this opportunity when people are anxious and stressed and grieved and depressed as not as post-traumatic stress, but post-traumatic growth? There is so much growth happening within us when we have awareness, when we do our practices, when we look inside and see what wants to be healed and what needs and wants to grow, and then we do the work. It's more powerful than anything. So I want to go back to the quote by Toku-san, and then I would like to share a few things that are invitations to you, and then I will close with a healing treatment. So Toku-san, I opened with this. The 9th century Zen master gave instructions. However deep your knowledge of the scriptures, it is no more than a strand of hair in the vastness of space. However important appears your worldly experience, it is but a drop of water in a deep ravine. So, I invite you to practice. I invite you to explore our website if you haven't yet. www.cslmorristown.org. I invite the csl.org website, which is our mother organization. I invite you to sign up for our email blasts. I invite you to join us in our Zoom meetings every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8. In May, I'm starting a mindfulness series, so watch out for that. I invite you to go to YouTube where these videos will be posted and to join our YouTube page, Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. I invite you to give. I know that some of you aren't able, so keep us in your treatments and hold the highest for us. But if you can give, we invite you to just give on our website. I'm so grateful for watching, and today I'm teaching the discovery class, so I get to see some of you again. And now let's do a closing treatment. Right here, right now, I open my mind and my heart to the activity of spirit already within me. It is that which governs my breath. It is that which beats my heart. It is that which operates my immune system in the highest and best ways. I know that when a crisis hits, whether it's personal or collective, that I get to rise up and bring the to myself, to those around me, and to everyone on this planet, near and far, whether it's quietly in the privacy of my own home, or whether it's on the front lines or anything in between. I get to be a beacon of light with every breath and every heartbeat, in everything I am doing and everything I am being. And so I am so grateful to remember today that I am an instrument of the divine, bringing myself as a unique, authentic, individualized expression of the one, something no one else is able to do, in ways that allow for healing the entire planet, making it a world that truly works for everyone. I am so grateful for the medium of Facebook Live and Zoom and all the other applications, even the one that didn't work for me today. And I trust and know that together, as one community of human beings on the spiritual path, we are blessed, we are a blessing, and we are filled with light and love. Receiving it gracefully, then I turn this spiritual mind treatment over to universal law, which knows exactly how to demonstrate it in the highest and best ways for each of us individually. And so it is. Thank you, everyone. Love you. Bye.